Hey, what's up, cats and kittens? And shout out to all my Cerebralites. It's me, the Cerebral Diva, back with another episode of In the Loop. Yes. So anyhow, today we're going to talk about Janet Jackson, Jimmy Kimmel, and Prince. Not necessarily in that order. But we're going to start off with Janet Jackson, who is my all-time favorite pop icon. You guys, give me just a second to hear my phone going off somewhere in the background here. So bear with me for just one moment. Un momento, por favor. Oh my goodness, let's see here. Do I want to talk to him right now? Let's see. Hang on, you guys. Just talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right with you. Let's see here. Do you hear me texting? Get out of my business, by the way. None of your business who I'm texting. All right, you guys. So Janet Jackson, my favorite all-time pop icon, she took to Twitter today to release a video, which is very rare. Janet's one of those very sort of reticent personalities who doesn't really use social media to communicate a whole lot with her fans. But I think she's realizing in the 2017 era of music that it's an essential tool to communicate with your fans. Like, to not be on social media, to not use it as a tool to communicate is really to the detriment of your career. So I'm happy to see that she's actually learning that, because I feel like she could be a lot more relevant in today's day and age if she used social media to her advantage. So she went on social media, she recorded a video, and in the video she talks about her weight, she talks about her new son and how adorable he is, and she also talks about her divorce, and she just sort of mentions it casually, where she talks about that she's going through a divorce and that she's going to leave it all in God's hands. And you know, I wish both Janet and Will Almana the best, Wassam, the best. So I want to talk about more about the fact that she said that she's going back out on tour. Now, we all know that she released the Unbreakable album about a year and some change ago. And midway through the Unbreakable tour, Janet pressed the pause button, as she's done so often on her tours, and decided, look, I have better things to do with my time right now. I feel like I want to be a mom. I'm sorry about your tickets. I'm sorry about your outfits. But look, I'll catch you next go round. So she pressed pause, had a baby, and now she's back and she's ready to go again. And this is the second time she's canceled a tour. I really feel like Janet's just like over it at some point. She's like, look, my man's a billionaire. I don't have to do this. I do this because I want to, not because I have to. So I'm doing you a service by having this tour. In any case, she's about to go back on tour. She's rebranding the tour, which it was called Unbreakable, and now she's calling it the State of the World Tour. Now, she says it had nothing to do with politics, but I'm sort of a little side-eyeing Janet. It clearly has some sort of political implication. Now, if you're a true Janet fan, you know that State of the World is actually a title that was lifted from the Rhythm Nation 1814 album, which was sort of her politically conscious album, where she talked about war and domestic violence and illiteracy on the song called The Knowledge. So I think that given the climate that we're living in, it's very apropos for her to name the tour State of the World. And it'll be interesting to see if she goes back to her catalog and actually incorporates some of that music for the diehard Janet fans into this tour. And what'll also be interesting, you know, if you saw the videos, No Sleep and Damn Baby. What else did she release from that? I think those are the two only videos that she released from the Unbreakable album. You notice that it was a more sort of demure Janet, a more conservative Janet than we're used to seeing. You know, sort of the hypersexualized sex kitten, especially on tour. You know, Janet would bring people out and put them in chairs and do these strip teases and tie them to tables and all sorts of kinky, naughty S&M things. And that element was absent from the last tour, obviously out of respect to her marriage and to her husband. So now that she's no longer married, it'll be interesting to see if some of that sexuality returns to her showmanship on the State of the World tour. So I'm really excited to see that. Janet, please don't cancel on me. I'm going to buy my ticket. I promise I'll be there. All I need is for you to be there. So I'm excited to see this tour. You know, Janet, like I said, she's a little heavier right now. And we've seen Janet, you know, have these ebbs and flows in terms of weight. So I'm not the least bit worried about her on September 7th, which is when the tour is scheduled to start. I'm not the least bit worried about her being in fighting shape. Janet is, I don't know what she does or how she does it, but her snapback game is not to be played with. So, yeah, Now, moving on from Janet, we're going to talk about Prince really quickly. So Prince, as we all know, has passed away. It's been about a year and some change since he's passed away. God rest his soul. And we know that when he passed away without having a will, which caused a bunch of contention, people coming out of the woodwork alleging to be related to him in one way or another. Children he didn't know about, siblings he didn't know about, uncles, what have you. So ultimately, it looks through DNA, it was proven that he had approximately 5 siblings, if I'm not mistaken. And it looks like these siblings are actually coming together to film a reality show. They're sort of taking a page from the Whitney Houston family, which I think is really doing a disservice to the legacy of Prince. Look, Prince is not like Michael Jackson, not like Whitney, where Whitney didn't write a lot of her music. Prince pretty much owned his entire catalog. Prince had bank. So all of these 5 siblings are getting money on top of money already. Why hurt or harm his legacy by getting on TV and acting a fool? Take the money, fade into obscurity. No one really wants to hear from you, even though if there is a reality show, I'm certain to tune in, at least for the first couple of episodes, because as much as I hate to say it, I kind of like to watch, I like a train wreck if no one's hurt in the process. So if they're on TV and they're just acting a fool, yes, I'm probably going to tune in, much to the chagrin of Prince, but it is what it is. So I hope that they don't get this reality show. I hope it's not greenlit. I hope these people take the money, go away. You guys are going to be getting money in perpetuity. The Prince catalog is, it's never ending. That's going to be some long money. So let's move on from Prince and let's talk about Jimmy Kimmel. Now, Jimmy Kimmel made a heartfelt plea last night to Congress and pretty much to anyone who was listening about the importance of healthcare and what it means to a parent to be able to provide adequate healthcare for the children that you've birthed. The plea was so emotional that Jimmy was actually in tears talking about his own son who was born with congenital heart issues. And hearing Jimmy's plea really makes me hope that, how can you watch what Jimmy said and not be moved by that? You'd have to be a whole different kind of evil to watch what he said on his show and not realize that we live in the richest country in the world. We drop bombs on people that cost millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. We waste billions in defense spending. If we took just a small percentage of that and allocated it to the families in need, this wouldn't even be a topic for discussion. It's not like we don't have the money. Clearly we do. We just choose not to use it in places where it can help. And that needs to stop. And I agree 100% with Jimmy Kimmel. No parent should ever have to be faced with the choice of watching their child die because they can't afford to take care of them. That should never happen in America. So anyhow, you guys, that's it for this episode of In the Loop. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember to follow me across all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. I am Cerebral Diva everywhere. If you find another Cerebral Diva someplace out there, please come back and let me know so I can deal with her or whomever it is. What else? Oh, as always, in closing, you guys, remember to live better, love harder, and please, by all means, think smarter. It is me, the Cerebral Diva, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.